Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Micah Parsons gets brutally honest on if Derrick Henry would have saved Cowboys. One of the Dallas Cowboys' biggest weaknesses during the 2024-25 NFL season was an inconsistent running game. While Rico Dowdle turned things on down the final stretch, the team ranked at the bottom of the league through the first half of the year. The Cowboys' struggles on the ground highlighted the fact that they missed on Derrick Henry during free agency. Despite Henry living in Dallas during the offseason, the team never even reached out. With the Baltimore Ravens, Henry finished second in the NFL in rushing yards, 1,921, and first in rushing touchdowns with 16. Henry lit up the Cowboys in Week 3, rushing for 151 yards and 2 scores. That added insult to injury for Cowboys Nation, who never understood why Jerry Jones never gave Henry the call. But, for star defender Micah Parsons, the addition of Henry would have never made a difference. Parsons made an appearance with Adam Shine of Mad Dog Sports Radio when he said that the Cowboys' struggles were so great that Henry couldn't have really helped. "I'm afraid Derrick Henry," Parsons said. "We were that Derrick Henry should be blessed because he played with Lamar and he almost runs for 2,000 yards. The hypothetical can sound pretty good, but we struggled so much that I don't even know if Derrick could have helped us. It would have been another Tennessee Titan year for him." It hurts to hear, but it's true. It wasn't until late into the season that the Cowboys decided to run the ball more consistently. That resulted in Dowdle eventually topping 1,000 yards for the season. So, while Henry would have been a flashy signing, the team's stars don't think it would have been worth the price. Now, the Cowboys move into the offseason with Dowdle potentially leaving in free agency and could find themselves in need of a running back to lead the backfield in 2025. Luckily, hometown star Ashton Jeanty of Boise State could be within reach in the 2025 NFL Draft. Kellen Moore reflects on interview with Dallas Cowboys, comments on Schottenheimer hire. It's been a busy last month for Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, as the former Cowboys offensive coordinator interviewed with Dallas, New Orleans, and Jacksonville for their head coach openings, while also leading the Eagles to an appearance in Super Bowl 59 on Sunday in New Orleans. Through it all, Moore has been able to translate one of the top offenses from the regular season around the NFL to the postseason, where his playmakers are one win away from a championship. "It's part of the process," Moore said. "I'm fortunate to be a part of this." Despite the Cowboys interviewing Moore before any other candidate when they parted ways with Mike McCarthy, they decided to go in a different direction in hiring Brian Schottenheimer a little over a week later. "I was fortunate to have an opportunity to meet with those guys, and it was great," Moore said. "They made a decision and they'll be in a great position to be successful moving forward." Reflecting on his time in Dallas, he remains grateful for the opportunity that the team afforded him not only as a coach, but also as a player. After playing for 3 seasons from 2015 to 2017 as a backup quarterback to Tony Romo and then to Dak Prescott, Moore transitioned into coaching. He was first the team's quarterbacks coach in 2018 before being promoted to offensive coordinator in 2019. He would hold that position until he parted ways with the team following the 2022 season. "Being in Dallas, it was my first time really coaching, first time being an offensive coordinator," Moore said. "At the end of the day, if it's your first time, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to screw up a lot. You're going to be able to learn and grow. I was fortunate to be around some of the best from coaches to players. It was a really, really great opportunity, really a growing opportunity for me, and I feel like I was fortunate to be in that situation." Cowboys predicted to add Steel QB in Brian Schottenheimer move. It is true that, heading into the 2025 offseason, the Dallas Cowboys have a long list of issues that require attention. They need a number 2 wide receiver, they need to figure out what to do with Rico Dowdle and the future of the running back position. the Cowboys need depth and experience on the offensive line. They need to remake the defensive line and need help at safety. There probably is not much confidence, as things stand, in the ability of Jerry Jones and the team's ramshackle front office to actually make these moves and execute them well. But in the shuffle of what's going on with the Cowboys' depth chart, it's important, too, that they not forget one critical role on this team: backup quarterback. And with offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer making the move to head coach, it's going to get attention. That's because the Cowboys carried two quarterbacks for the entire 2023 and 2024 seasons, having made an ill-advised deal for Trey Lance at the end of the 2023 training camp. Lance, ultimately, could not even beat out backup Cooper Rush on the depth chart. But now both Rush and Lance are free agents, and Dallas might be reluctant to pay decent money to a number two, not while Dak Prescott is on a record-setting $240 million deal. Thus, the Cowboys may well look to the NFL draft to fill the role. With Prescott in place, the Cowboys could be willing to gamble on a cheap alternative at QB2. They did sign Will Grier, who has been with the team in 2 training camps, to a reserve/future contract last month, and he could be given a chance to finally win the job. But even if Grier is a QB2 candidate, expect Dallas to seek to bolster the depth behind Prescott. With that in mind, Cowboys Wire's latest mock draft, built assuming Schottenheimer has a high degree of influence, has them taking a gamble on a QB with potential, Louisville's Tyler Shough, whom the site projects landing with Dallas with a 6th-round pick. The cupboards are bare in the quarterback room behind Dak Prescott, and every new offensive coach wants a new QB to groom in the background, so using one of the day 3 picks for a project passer makes sense for the franchise, the site's Reed Hansen wrote. Shough is an intriguing prospect because of the skill set he possesses. At 6'5", 225 pounds, he's built like a pro QB. He has legitimate arm talent, excellent athleticism and proven scrambling ability. His mechanics and footwork can get sloppy, but he's a great value in round 6. In a draft that is especially weak at quarterback, Shough is rated the 12th best QB prospect by Pro Football Focus, and the 206th best prospect overall. That means he is on the fringe of not getting drafted at all. While he is physically ideal as a QB prospect, he is also 25. He was on the rather unique 7-year collegiate plan, playing 3 years at Oregon and 3 at Texas Tech before landing at Louisville. He threw for 3,195 yards with 23 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 12 games. Shough might not be around in round 6, though, after a strong showing at the Senior Bowl. As ESPN's Louis Riddick noted on the Rich Eisen show, "I said it down there, in Mobile, I said it during the regular season, I'm gonna say it now. If you put him in an offense like Sean McVay's, like Kyle Shanahan's, like Kevin Stefanski's, this kid is going to be the surprise and steal of the draft, in particular, at quarterback," Riddick said. "He can throw it, he is mobile, he's big, he's mature. He's a guy who's got a lot of mental horsepower, and he's a guy who's been coached by Jeff and Brian Brome, who to me, right now, there is nobody better as far as tutoring quarterbacks for the pro game in all of college football. Remember that name. And you, fan? What do you think of the Tyler Shough situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.